But we do begin tonight with terror in Toronto and scenes of chaos and tragedy after a driver mounted the footpath in a rented van, ploughing into pedestrians during the busy lunchtime period, killing at least 10 and injuring 16 others. The 25-year-old driver, Alec Minassian, who's now in custody, continued his rampage for 2.5 kilometres before being apprehended by the police. You might have seen footage there of that person being apprehended and the cool and calm approach of that police officer that managed to arrest him. Zach Fleming has this report.
Horrific scenes in Toronto after a driver ploughed his white Ryder rental van onto a footpath, killing at least 10 pedestrians and injuring 16 others.
We've located that vehicle. The driver's in custody right now, and he's been investigated to the events that took place this afternoon. I also want to offer my condolences to the families and the victims.
Blood splattered the footpath and shoes and items of clothing lay strewn on the street behind emergency tape as police cordoned off the area. Witnesses described the driver as deliberately targeting victims, knocking them down like bowling pins.
He just went on the sidewalk. He just started hitting everybody, man. He hit every single person on the sidewalk. Anybody in his way he would hit. The bus stop, everything got shattered. There was a lady in there that I saw. I just stopped and I looked and I went after it again. All I see is just crumbling up one by one, one by one.
The incident took place over 16 blocks, ending as the driver struck a bus stop. Witnesses say he pointed a black object at police officers, taunting them into shooting him.
I seen a stroller. I didn't see the baby. I saw a stroller split in half. I seen people. The most gruesome scene I seen was a young empress, a woman's leg. Her leg was on once. Oh man. It was really bad.
It's okay.
Really bad.
It was just while he was in the middle of the intersection, and the van just went right into him, plowed right into him. And then apparently he drove down further, and he went onto the sidewalk by the next building, and he hit more people there and just kept going.
And so many people just shouting, "Stop the car!" But he didn't. He just kept moving, and he hit some people, and 3 people lie down there, and they didn't move at all.
Canada's Minister of Public Safety, Ralph Goodall, said it's not yet known if terrorism was the driver's motive.
That incident is under investigation at this moment by the Toronto Police Service with the full and complete cooperation of the Ontario Provincial Police and the RCMP, as is appropriate, together with others. Police are doing their very best as rapidly as possible to identify precisely what has taken place here and why, but it is obviously a very serious incident.
Toronto Mayor John Tory said his heart went out to the victims, many thought to be office workers on their lunch breaks.
We obviously don't have a lot of detail we can provide as yet, but we know there were casualties, and our hearts and thoughts and prayers go out to the families and friends of those people.
A group of 7 foreign ministers from countries including the US, Canada and Britain were meeting in the downtown area of Toronto at the time of the attack. For Checkpoint, Zach Fleming.